So tapping into the conversation. We talked about the big injuries with Jaden Roberts, James Smith, talking about the depth behind that. Let's get into some of these scrimmage notes because I had the privilege of being able to be there, have eyes on site for a majority of the scrimmage, man. And it was a energy at practice. First of all, the physicality was present on both sides of the ball. You would have thought that it was a full go game. Like, let's go, because they were really popping out there, especially the secondary, the defensive. The guys in the secondary were crashing on all run plays. I mean, literally shooting down, putting hat on helmet. I mean, hat on body. Like it was physical. It felt like an old school Bama type practice. But even in the pass game, man, the patience with this passing offense is so great to see compared to where it was last year. Just the patience of it. Not a lot of opportunities for big plays, right? But the offense was definitely patient and productive. Ty Simpson led scoring drives, both drives that he was out there. Keelan Russell had, I think, 2 scoring drives. And mind you, all of these scores came off of rushing plays. Like, it wasn't like passing, beating us over top. It was 1 or 2 plays where we could have had an opportunity to make plays, but the defensive backs were playing through the ball. So it was a great scrimmage overall. That's kind of my assessment of it. Just watching, I want to watch the phases kind of, go against each other and see how the play calling was, with how vanilla it would be. And I think it was pretty extensive for a scrimmage. I think we got to see some quality work.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about our passing game with Ty Simpson. I know Kalen DeBoer was bragging about it throughout the weekend, so that was pretty cool to see. And we should feel all right going into week 1 and much more. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it definitely
100%.
seemed like most of the accounts are positive outside of the injuries to, some of our players, recently. But it doesn't seem like, again, those injuries are long term. So overall, it's massive positives. I think it's good that, to hear from you, Coach, that you're seeing the physicality there, because it's not like we ever really lost physicality. It's not like we ever became like a soft team the last couple of years, but like, a lot of people have said, we haven't been the same team that we were 2020 and prior. So that's what, we want to get back to. So we have to get back to. And from all accounts I've read and heard, everybody is very positive. Kalen DeBoer is very positive. He's got to be positive, obviously, but it seems very genuine positivity, and the results speak for themselves in the scrimmage. So definitely good signs all around that our team is should be ready to go for week 1.
100%. And like you said, with the offense, I think more so the maturity from areas where you're going to need huge production to have 6 or 7 wide receivers that you can truly count on. Cole Adams had a rough day, but that's a rough day that he's not going to show up tomorrow for practice on Tuesday and let that roll over. He's proven that he can get through those slumps or whatever. So, Jalen Hill, Latia Brooks had big plays during the scrimmage. Isaiah Horton, Jeremy Bernard, Ryan Williams, Rico Scott, all of them being consistent. In Mbakwe, the route running looks a lot more polished than where, you would expect him to be at, being at this stage of this level in his career, coming into this position now. I think we're more so excited about the maturity that's being displayed right now at the University of Alabama on that roster, because it is a veteran spread roster. And when I say veteran spread, you're talking red shirt sophomores, red shirt freshmen, a lot of red shirt juniors, guys that's been on campus, 4 years, 3 to 4 years, mixed in with a good second year guy in each key spot. Man, this is a pretty talented depth team, and this is a staff that wants to utilize depth. So, and we saw that in the scrimmages, and that's why nobody knew that Jam Miller was injured, because everybody figured running backs RB1B and 2A, 2B, and 3 and 4 would get an opportunity to be evaluated. So after 7 or 8 plays, you don't see them no more. You kind of think like, same thing with not seeing James Smith or Jaden Roberts. Let's not injure a veteran guy that doesn't have anything to prove other than, he's going to continue to show up and do what he's done to be that guy. So overall, man, a lot of positives, like you said, Jeff, coming from this scrimmage. Noah Carter looks real like he's transitioned well into playing that edge position. I will say that. I know it was against a lot of third team action, fourth team, however you want to look at it, but he's fluid at that position. And with the size that he's put on, I wouldn't be surprised if him and Justin Hill get kind of the same type of weight as far as, specified assignments in the pass rush, especially for some of those these packages we're seeing.
Yeah, I'm excited about our offense. I really cannot wait to see what our defense looking like. But I'm hoping our special teams is looking really good this year. So
Well, we
that's
saw
always
that Georgia mopped up the floor with the preseason media recognition for special teams. So I don't think we had a single guy on the preseason, like all first team or second team for special teams. But hopefully, at least our special teams is above average at the very least.
Yeah, and the staff was very confident about the performance from the punting game, which is something that's going to be huge. Now, I'm excited to see who finally gets the opportunity to be the designated return team, personnel. And I think we have a lot of options, but realistically, I'm looking for a guy like Mbakwe, Cole Adams, those guys. That's who I really want back there, especially Mbakwe for punt return. I think his field vision and his change of direction, his speed, his elusiveness, he had limited opportunities to showcase that last year. Even after his interceptions, man, you could tell like the wiggle is there, man. I can just imagine what he do with a motivated young group of special teams players full of freshmen or redshirt freshmen, guys that get that they're not necessarily starters or in the rotation, but they're going to be part of the future. Duke Johnson, all those guys, put those guys on special teams, man. QB Reese, be a leader on special teams. We know you're going to get playing time on the defense, but be a leader on the special teams like Reuben Foster was, man. Get that group of guys, that next level of the defense, that next wave of Alabama defense ready through special teams, making big plays. I think we got a year where we're going to see that type of energy, and having a guy like Mbakwe back there, of course, I definitely want to see him back there. Who's your thoughts as far as return men? Who should be the primary guy for punt return, and then the two guys back there for kick return?
I kind of think Mbakwe would be great. I'm surprised they don't have Ryan Williams on the punt return team, honestly.
Ryan Williams would be great, but you don't want him getting hurt either on a return.
Exactly.
That's the problem,
I want to
kind of want to go with a younger guy like an Mbakwe because, you lose him to injury. Again, it sucks. You don't want that to happen, but, you can maybe afford that. You don't want to lose Ryan Williams just because of the fact that, you want that elusiveness and that speed and just the sheer talent he has on a punt return. I would not do that. I do have to ask because someone says here, use two people to receive punt. Do you agree with that, Coach Smoog and Jackson, to use two, or would you use one?
I'm liking one. Like you have, of course, your depth chart, but I like the one because it just creates more opportunity for space. Like having two returners on kick return, you see a lot of people shifting to the formation where there's only one guy in the deep part in the return area. But I like one. I like one back there for punt return. And like I said, I prefer Mbakwe on punt return. I don't want Ryan Williams anywhere near punt return. And this is no shade, but we saw some close calls last season. You love the opportunities, you love the elusiveness, you love the excitement behind it. But I'd rather have the energy and focus on the offensive side. Get you one of your fifth or sixth guys in the receiver rotation with all that speed we have in that room. You got true freshman Lashia Brooks. Give him spots where he can go out there and be, have opportunities. But punt return, Mbakwe, kick return. Now, kick return, I would take a wide receiver back there. I will take a guy like, Jeremy Bernard or, Ryan Williams. I would take him on kick return. It's a little bit more set up. You can scheme up a actual kick return, kind of have a little bit more control on flow, how you want the return to flow if it goes to a certain spot. So, yeah, definitely want to take an opportunity and possibly see Ryan back there for kickoff return. And kickoff return, man, you see like a guy like Ryan Williams touch the ball first play of the game and break off for like 35, 40 yards. Huge. But you could also see a Jalen Waddle situation where he's breaking off for like ready, just need to make that one missed tackle and gets horse collared, and now his ankle's gone. You know, so I definitely understand protecting the assets, but it's part of the game at the end of the day. And I guarantee if they give him the opportunity, he's gonna take it.
No doubt about that. I do like the idea of having a different guy for kick return and a different guy for punt return, because this
I
way
agree.
you're not overly reliant on one guy. But I can understand why some people want to have one guy. So it's like
We
you
have
kind of
so
want to mix
much,
it up.
like to your point, Coach Man, we have so much talent and so much speed with our depth guys that you could use multiple different ones in the same game for kick and punt return. You don't have to
Facts.
necessarily use the same guy.
Facts. And that's why I think right now Alabama is in good position in a lot of positions on the field. But like you said, you really can't gauge special teams in practice. I don't care what you do, what you say, you can't gauge it. You don't play. Nobody's playing special teams live, you know, in practice anymore. That was one of the main things in the late '90s where, you know, you saw coaches transition, especially in the collegiate game. They just cut out that whole special teams period for live action. They just cut it off. Everything's on air. Make sure you're in the right spots. You know, you see a lot of lane drills when it comes to special teams. That I was part of that wave, and it was weird because in high school we did live. We went live on special teams. Like we went live. There was where a lot of the highlights were made on special teams block during practice. So yeah, shout out to Melvin Amundsen over here on the Coach Smoot Network. Y'all make sure y'all come and tap in on Alabama at the Voice of College Football. We're live on the Coach Smoot Network, but we want y'all to pull up on this side and subscribe to the Alabama at the Voice of College Football here on YouTube. You should see everything scrolling across the screen, and then Botrick should be pulling a link up to the channel now. We should have it phased in and queued up over there on the Coach Smoot Network. Shout out to the Coach Smoot Network team, man, coming over supporting Alabama at the Voice of College Football, man. We family. We're gonna make sure we do our due over here, just like we do at the Coach Smoot Network. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in over there. Make sure y'all come subscribe over here. We on our way, trying to hit that 5K. Trying to hit that 5K, man. We pushing it. We pushing it. So appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. And yeah. Good evening, Chad said. Good evening from Savannah, Georgia. Good evening, Chad. Roll Tide. Good to see you in the chat.
Roll Tide, roll, Chad.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Oh,
Yes,
you're
sir.
an hour ahead of us, aren't you, Chad?
Oh yeah. He feeling good right now. Chad been off work for a good hour or two now. I feel you, man. Look, he been off work for a good hour or two.